Above the history few months, it seems, Polar Korea's promotion has been changed its melody. Banners and posters displayed through the equity and some towns include characteristically displayed the US as a cruel imperialistic attacker and Southward Korea or Japan as Washington's readily allies. But visitors to the nation say they've seen such posters replaced by promotion enterprising economical advance and the inter-Korean convergence. Guideline newspapers in the tight controllable nation include as well seen a change in color, a mark the nation is start to represent its latter tactful thawing weather to the human beings. The extensive most of Polar Koreans include really slight accessing to data, so country print and promotion include a far more effect rather than in another place in the planet. In the US historically represented as the major foe, promotion has not detained behind on show how Pyongyang would answer, depiction rocket technology destructive the US or military devastating invaders. The posters are intended to instill patriotic, construct trust in the management and offer feeling how the struggles of lifetime are for the more fame of the nationality. They alarm hard times and a stricter link on the US to the countrymen of Polar Korea. They go downward while tensions diminish. So while times are more than favorable, the promotion will be too much. Following months of warlike war threats, Polar Korea the year detained historical summits in both of Southward Korea and the US, pledge, although in obscure regulation, to offer up its nurtured nuke stockpile and job to world. Overseas guides who get round groups in the close nation say how in latter months, the promotion story has undertaken a distinguishing rotate. All the against American posters I normally see about Kim Illinois sung box and at shops, they've all fair lost, ash-bearded, a round officer at youthful young pioneer tours, said the Reuters news story agent. In 5-year work in Polar Korea, I've never seen them fully vanish up. Of year, the new posters are fair as lot promotion as the old ones, but they allocate various subjects, reunion of the Koreas, economical advance and research accomplishment. The changing follows an domestic reasoning, if negotiations in the southward and the US are creature-informed as the start of probable next company operation later the two ex-adversaries include to be displayed in a more than inert and less than menacing path. Why else would Kim Jong-un differently sit downward for negotiations in such countries' leaders? Though the against American trinkets that utilized to be sold out to tourists as souvenirs include started to changing. No much longer, for copy, can you discover the postcards, posters, or stamps how dashingly showed Polar Korean rocket technology header for Washington. They're ever really famous, not really thin, or, as of currently, include all been remote, Simon Cockerell, general officer at Koryo Tours, said Reuters. The changes in formal politics are as well reflecting in the guideline domestic paper, Rodong Sinmun. Down there is no complementary click in Polar Korea. All print point of sale are tight controllable and whatever published or speak is thoroughly vetted to be informal by the government channel. Normally the document would routinely run adverse accountable on the US, depiction Washington as a enemy strength and list US participation in discord love Syria as a testimony of us imperialistic. But guideline up to the meet on June 12 among Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump card, the usually ardent document stopped creature crucial of the US. With the summit conference, it has displayed image-heavy scope of the meet, celebration Mr. Kim as a world government official and world manufacturer. Break in heritage, TV and newspapers as well informed Mr. Kim's latter trips, to China and Singapore, in nearly actual period, because previous, it would include undertaken days for Polar Koreans to recite on it. In color, the US is now represented as if it is a regular nation, explains Peter Chamber, Polar Korea specialist and author for NK News Story. All references to US actions how Polar Korea considers a enemy acts include disappeared of the document. Down there's the which Mr. Chamber describes as inert scope of the US exit the UN Humane Rights Justice. The is enchanting, he explains. Usually talk, inert or favorable scope is usually restrained for countries how Pyongyang has amiable relations in all of Polar Korea's negotiations at really previous stages so distant, it is not clear if the flash changing of color is there to remain. Except Polar Korea lives up to the generalized commitments it done at Panmunjom and in Singapore, down there will be slight sanctions regime ease in back, and so for the posters they see each date, slight might changing for common Polar Koreans.